discussing chapter number 10, the cell cycle and cell division. In this cell cycle and cell division, we have seen what is a cell cycle, what is its definition, and what are the different phases of cell cycle. Even we have also finished regarding one type of a cell division process, that is a mitosis. And we have started with another special kind of a division process called as meiosis. You know that meiosis occurs in two phases. The two-time division takes place, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. We have first started with meiosis 1, and in meiosis 1 we have finished with the prophase 1. So just I am listing out what are the phases of prophase 1, and then we are moving away. We have finished with this prophase 1. Okay. So what are the different phases of prophase 1? The prophase 1, it's divided into a leptotin, zygotin, pectitin, diplotin, and last one you can say it's a diakinesis. These are the different phases of prophase 1 of meiosis 1. I just briefly say what happens in these phases. In the leptotin phase, the first phase of prophase 1, in the leptotin phase, the chromatin material starts to condense and it forms a chromosome. But here just a bivalent nature of a chromosome is observed in a leptotin phase. In a zygotin phase, the chromosome starts to pair. It forms a pair. These paired chromosomes are called as a homologous chromosome. Okay, and that pairing process is called as a synapsis. The pairing occurs along with the formation of synaptonormal complex. The third phase we are calling as pectitin. In this pectitin phase, here what happens? There is a formation of a tetravalent chromosome. The tetravalent chromosome can be observed clear cut in the pectitin phase. Here there is an appearance of recombinant nodule with the help of an enzyme called as recombinase. Okay. Apart from that, there is a crossing over takes place between a non-sister chromatid of a chromosome. This crossing over that occurs at the chiasmata, where the exchange of genes takes place. That happens in the pectitin phase. Next is a diplotin phase. In the diplotin phase, the chromosome starts to move away from each other, but the association at the chiasmata or the crossing over at the chiasmata, still it is maintained. There is not complete separation of chromosome takes place. There is a diplotin phase. And in diakinesis, there is a complete separation of chromosome. Even the association at the chiasmata also gets separated. Nuclear membrane gets break off. The nucleolus disappear. So this thing happens during the last phase, what we call it as diakinesis. This much we have finished in the previous session. Now that's all about the prophase 1. After the prophase 1 finishes, then the next phase starts, and we are calling this phase is as a metaphase 1. So here the metaphase 1 starts. So what happens in the metaphase 1? Like I am just drawing a cell. Suppose this is a cell. Okay. In the cell there is a presence of a nucleus. But now the nuclear membrane is broken down. So obviously all the chromosomes are in the cytoplasm. There is already a presence of a centriole. Centrioles are present at the opposite pole. Okay. So these centrioles are present at the opposite pole. Now what is the indication that the metaphase 1 starts? When there is a complete breakdown of nuclear membrane. Remember, when there is a complete breakdown of a nuclear membrane and all the DNA gets condensed into a chromosome, this is an indication that where the metaphase 1 starts. I again repeat, when the metaphase 1 starts, the metaphase 1 starts when there is a complete disintegration or a breakdown of nuclear membrane and there is a complete condensation of a DNA material and converted into a chromosome. This is what happens. Now what happens next is the spindle fiber from the centriole. It binds with a disc-shaped structure that is present on the centromere. Okay, so this is a chromosome. But now this is a meiosis process, so you already know that this chromosome that occurs in a pair. This chromosome that occurs in the pair. See, so such kind of a association takes place. This is a one pair. This is the another pair. This such kind of a pairing takes place. Okay, the pairing already has occurred during the prophase 1. Here just they attaches with a centromere, but the chromosome they appear in a pair. So this spindle fiber which arises from the centriole, it attaches with a disc-shaped structure present on the centromere, and that align the chromosome on a single line. We are calling it as equatorial plate. So this is the what events that occurs during a metaphase 1. These are the events that occur during a metaphase 1. Okay, so this is about a metaphase 1. Okay, now next, after the metaphase 1, the next phase starts, and we are calling it as anaphase 1. What we are calling it as? Anaphase 1. What is an anaphase 1? In the anaphase 1, now in the metaphase, this is a condition. I am drawing what is a condition in the metaphase. Okay, you already know that this is a condition what occurs in the metaphase. Okay, here there is a presence of a centriole. Okay, here there is a presence of a centriole. Now what happens during the anaphase 1? The spindle fiber starts to constrict. So see, the spindle fiber starts to constrict. So it pulls the chromosome. One chromosome goes towards a one pole, the another chromosome goes towards another pole. So they are equally gets distributed. Remember here the centromere doesn't split. In the mitosis the centromere split like this one, half occurs. Half chromosome goes on this side, half chromosome goes over on other side. But here this kind of a thing doesn't happen. Here the whole chromosome in the anaphase 1, remember in the anaphase 1 the whole chromosome goes on one side, the another chromosome goes on the another side or another pole. So here the things occur like this. So one chromosome is moving towards a one pole, like suppose say it's a north pole. So the other chromosome is moving towards another, that is a south pole. Okay, so because here the spindle fiber constrict, so they starts to move towards the respective pole. Same thing happens over the another pair of chromosome. Okay, same thing is here. I am just drawing the two pairs. That is for just the example. But you know that there are 23 pairs are present. Okay, so this is called as anaphase 1. Okay, so in anaphase 1, the spindle fiber starts to constrict, and the chromosome they moves towards the respective pole. Okay, in anaphase 1, the splitting of centromere does not take place. Okay, once the anaphase over, the last phase starts of a meiosis 1, and that is called as telophase 1. What we are calling it as telophase 1. What is a telophase 1? In the telophase 1, what happens? Here all the material gets condensed, or all the chromosome they gets condensed towards the one pole. Like here the material gets condensed, and there is a development of a nuclear membrane. Let's see it. On both the pole there is a development of a nuclear membrane takes place. These are the chromosome. The chromosome now it starts to expand and convert it into a chromatin. It starts to expand and convert it into a chromatin material. Okay. The nucleolus, it gets reappeared. Okay, nuclear membrane again form, nucleolus reappear, the chromosome it expand and converts it into a chromatin form. So these are the events which takes place into a telophase 1. Okay, once the telophase 1 overs, then the cytokinesis occurs, means a division of cytoplasm takes place. A division. This cell is divided into two parts. So this is a one cell and it becomes another cell. This is the another cell. So thus two cells are going to be formed. Okay, so thus the two cells exist at the end of cytokinesis. Okay, or at the end of meiosis 1. Okay, I again repeat. After the completion of prophase 1, which is the longest phase, what happens in the metaphase? The spindle fiber that attaches with a disc-shaped structure present on the centromere, what we are calling it as kinetochore, means spindle fiber attaches with a kinetochore and align the chromosome on a single plane or single line, what we call it as equatorial plate or metaphase plate. Here it is a phase where you can clear-cut observe the chromosomes. Now during the anaphase, the spindle fiber starts to constrict So the chromosome moves toward a respective pole. One chromosome goes towards the north pole and the other one is going toward the south pole, for an example. Okay, but they move towards the respective pole. Okay, here the chromosome doesn't split, centromere doesn't split, the whole chromosome goes towards the respective pole. Once they reaches to the respective pole, in the telophase what happens? There is a appearance of a nuclear membrane around the chromosome. The chromosome expand and it's converted to a chromatin material. Nucleolus reappear, and this is a telophase 1. And after that what happens? A cytokinesis which break down the cytoplasm and it divides the cell into two parts. Thus at the end of meiosis 1, two cells are produced. Okay, so this is about a meiosis 1. Okay, but now you know that meiosis occurs in a two-step. Meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2. We are finished with one step, that is what we call it as meiosis 1. Now after completion of meiosis 1, what happens after completion of meiosis 1? After completion of meiosis 1, what happens? The cell undergo interkinesis. The cell undergo interkinesis. Interkinesis means a cell undergo a rest between a meiosis and the 1 and meiosis 2. After completion of meiosis 1, तुरंत ही meiosis 2 start नहीं हो जाता. Okay, clear? After completion of meiosis 1, the cell goes in a rest. Okay, and then after the meiosis 2 starts. So that is the phase of resting. Okay, between a meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2, it's called as interkinesis. Okay, and once the interkinesis finishes, then the cell undergo meiosis 2. It undergo meiosis 2. Now you know the phases of meiosis 2. Okay, what are the phases of meiosis 2? I am writing over here what are the phases of meiosis 2. So the meiosis 2, it divides into 4 phases. Which are the 4 phases? Prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2. Very easy now for you to remember because it has been repeated lots of times. It is telophase 2, 4 phases: prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, telophase 2. Okay, and this meiosis 2 is exactly same as mitosis. The events that takes place in meiosis 2 is exactly same as a mitosis, what we have discussed in previous section. Okay, the events are exact same. Okay, so there I think there is no need to discuss again what thing happens in the meiosis 2, but it is exact. Okay, now you know that at the end of meiosis 1, how many cells are produced? 2. Now it enters into a meiosis 2. So from this 2 cell, again it divides, and ultimately how many cells are produced? 4 cells are produced, which have half number of chromosome than the parent cell. So thus the meiosis process over. Okay, in the meiosis 2, I again repeat, in the meiosis 2, you have to write the same thing as like a mitosis. Thus there is a one difference, you just have to write 2, 2. Okay, even the phase remains the same. Instead of prophase, we are writing prophase 2. Instead of metaphase, you are writing metaphase 2. Okay, anaphase, anaphase 2. Telophase, telophase 2. Okay, and that is exact same, even not a single difference that exists in between them. Okay, so that is all about a meiosis process. Meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2. The most important thing is this, prophase 1, and it is a longer of durations. I have already told you that even in some vertebrates, this prophase 1 may take years and months to finish it out. So this is what we are calling as meiosis. Okay, we have already discussed the significance of mitosis. Now what is the significance of meiosis? So let's discuss regarding the significance of meiosis. So what is the significance of meiosis? You know that the meiosis that occurs into a gametic cell or the reproductive cells. Like suppose this is a male gamete, okay, and this is a female gamete, okay. This male gamete and the female gamete both are produced by a process called as meiosis. By a process called as meiosis, the male and the female gametes are produced. Now what happens? During the reproduction, the male and female gametes, they are fused. They are fused. And that leads to a formation of a zygote. Okay. Now this zygote that develops into a multicellular organism. It develops into a multicellular organism. How? By cell division process. And here the cell division process that takes place is a mitosis, where the chromosome number remains the same. Now what happens? Here the male and female gametes are produced by meiosis. We are discussing the significance of that meiosis. We have already discussed the significance of mitosis. Due to this mitosis, the zygote or the single cell converts into a multicellular organism. But now we are discussing the significance of meiosis. So what is the significance of meiosis? They are involved in a production of male and the female gamete. And here the chromosome number gets a half. Chromosome number gets a half. And that is the importance. Okay. If suppose assume that if the chromosome number doesn't get a half, like suppose take an example of human being. You know that there are 46 number of chromosomes. In the gamete, 23 and 23 number of chromosomes are present. This is a real situation. But we are assuming a reverse. Suppose the chromosome number doesn't get half. So it remains the same. 46, 46. Okay, clear? Now what happens? This male and female gamete, they fuse together. Okay, so what happens? When they fuse, in the zygote, the number of chromosome becomes a 92. That means it gets a double. In the next generation, even it gets a double. So that means the chromosome number doesn't remain stable, or it doesn't remain maintained. Due to a meiosis, the chromosome number remains maintained. How? Like here, the chromosome number gets half. The real situation is the chromosome number gets half. So 23 and 23, it becomes a 46. Okay. From this 46, the multicellular organisms are formed by a mitosis. So here also the number of chromosomes that remains the same, 46. Again it divides by a process called as meiosis. Okay. The number of chromosomes gets half. Even in the next generation, when they fuse, again the number maintained. So here 46, this is the one generation. Second generation, the number of chromosomes are maintained. Okay. So over generation to generation, the chromosome numbers have been maintained. Whether yourself, whether your parent, whether your grandparent, or whether your child, all have a same number of chromosomes in their cells. How it is maintained? That is by a process called as meiosis. Because during the meiosis, the number of chromosomes gets half. Okay, so one of the most important significance of the meiosis, they maintain the chromosome number over generation to a generation. So I just write down what is the first significance of a meiosis process. In the meiosis process, the first significance is that it helps in maintenance of chromosome number constant from one generation to other generation. This is the importance of first importance of a meiosis process. So it maintains the chromosome number same over generation to a generations. Okay. Now the second significance is, you know that during the meiosis, In the Peckiting phase of prophase 1 of meiosis 1, the crossing over takes place, and due to a crossing over, the exchange of genes occur. This exchange of genes, due to an exchange of genes, which is due to a crossing over. This exchange of gene is due to a crossing over. Okay, the variation exists. Variation. It is responsible for a variation. Like you and your parents are not exact same. Okay, there are some kind of a variations. Though you are produced from your parents. Okay, there is some kind of a variation exists, and this variation is due to a crossing over or the exchange of genes. That is only possible in meiosis. In the mitosis, there is no crossing over, no exchange of genes, so the chromosome number remains the same, no chances of variation. Here, there is a chances of variation. That is the importance or significance of a meiosis process. Okay, you know that in which phase the crossing over takes place? It occurs during the Peckiting phase. The last significance. Okay, now here it's a variations. So due to a variations, it leads to a evolution. It leads to a evolution, and evolution is a process to generate a better species. Evolution was possible is due to this. Okay, nowadays the modern man have been produced. The Homo sapiens sapiens is produced due to these variations or the evolution, and that evolution, the credit goes to a meiosis process. So that is all about the significance of meiosis. These are the three main important significance. First significance, it maintains the chromosome number same over generation to generation, because the number of chromosome gets halved during the meiosis process or in gamete formation. Here there is an exchange of genes takes place. Okay, and due to exchange of genes, a variation can occur, and this variation is good for an evolution process. Okay, so this is the significance of a meiosis. So that's all about, we have discussed regarding the both kind of a cell division, mitosis and the meiosis. Okay, now we will learn what is the difference between these two processes. What is the difference? Both are cell division. Both are cell division. Mitosis is also a cell division. Meiosis is also a cell division. But what is the difference exists between them? You might know the few differences, but we will learn the whole difference between the mitosis and meiosis. This is a long 5-mark question which can be asked in your exam. Give the difference between a mitosis and the meiosis. Okay? So here it's a difference between a mitosis and meiosis. See, listen, I am just writing the points. You have to note it down in the form of a sentences. You don't only just write down the points. Okay, you have to write it down in sentences. So listen carefully what I am speaking. You have to frame a sentences from it. Okay, so see, what is called as mitosis? The another name of mitosis, it can be called as equational cell division. Okay, mitosis can also be called as equational cell division, whereas the meiosis is called as reductional cell division. Clear? These are the other name. Mitosis is called equational cell division, meiosis is called reductional cell division. Why we are calling this, that we will discuss during the difference. Okay, this is the first difference. Second difference, the mitosis, this process that occurs in a somatic cells. The process, mitosis process that occurs in somatic cell. But the meiosis process that occurs in a reproductive cells, in the formation of reproductive cells, or you can also call it as gametes. Clear? So in the gametes, the meiosis process takes place, that is the sperm and the ovum. The the all other cell except the gametic or the reproductive cells, we are calling it as somatic cell. So in all other cell, this somatic cell division takes place. Like suppose if you are get injured, your skin layer have been removed, that is an injury. Okay, बराबर છે ઉકળી ગયું એની જગ્યાએ નવું લેયર આવે છે ને. How that occurs? That occurs by mitosis because it is a somatic. The sperm and the ovum production occurs in a male and female respectively. How it occurs? That occurs by meiosis process. You are growing in size. Okay, when you are a child and you are becoming an adult, there is a growth occurs, there is an increase in the number of cell occurs. How it occurs? It's mitosis because these all cells are somatic cell. So the mitosis that occurs in somatic cell, the meiosis that occurs in a reproductive cell. Okay, so this is the second difference. Mitosis that occurs in any kind of a cell. It may be a haploid cell. Haploid means which contains a n number of chromosomes, and it can also occur in a diploid cells. We have a diploid cells means we have a 2n number of chromosomes. But here the mitosis can occur in both haploid and the diploid cells. There are few examples of a plant which have a haploid cells. Even in that case, the mitosis takes place. But the meiosis, it always occurs. Always remember, in diploid cell. It never occurs in a haploid cell. Why it never occurs in a haploid cell? Because here the chromosome number gets a half. बराबर છે? So in a haploid cell it is not possible. Like suppose if it is a 2n, it is possible to convert into a n. But n by 2 is not possible. I give you with example. Like in a human being is a diploid. So it contains a 46 number of chromosomes. Here you know that the chromosome number gets half. So it is a 23, it becomes a 23. It is possible. But suppose assume that if it is a haploid, means it contains 23 number of chromosomes instead of 46. Assume a condition. So can it get half? 23 na half thai? Nah. Half thai to kyu thai? It is just 11.5. This is not possible. There is no half chromosome. Either there is a chromosome or no chromosome. There is not any condition like half chromosome. So it is not possible in haploid condition. It is only possible in a diploid. But here the chromosome number remains the same. So 23 માંથી 23 chromosome બની શકે છે. So no problem. It can also occur in a haploid cell as well as it can also occur in a diploid cell. But the meiosis always takes place in a diploid cell. It never occurs in a haploid cell. So this is a condition. Okay. Here in a mitosis, one parent cell generate two daughter cells. From one parent cell, how many daughter cells are produced? Two. Here, from one parent cell, how many daughter cells are produced? Four. Four daughter cells are produced. Clear? So in mitosis, from one parent cell, two daughter cells are produced. In meiosis, from one parent cell, four daughter cells are produced. So this is a difference between a mitosis and meiosis. Okay? In mitosis, the number of chromosome in parent and daughter cell, that means which is produced by division, are same. The number of chromosomes in parent and the daughter cells are same. But here in meiosis, the number of chromosomes in daughter cell is half. Remember, half than parent cell. So if the parent cell has 46 number of chromosomes, then its daughter cell, which is produced by meiosis process, has only 23 number of chromosomes. Okay, so here the chromosome number remains the same, equal in parent and daughter. That's why we are calling it as equational cell division. Here the chromosome number gets half or it is reduced. That's why we are calling it as reductional cell division. I hope you have understood why we are calling it as equational and reductional cell division. Okay, so let us discuss first These 5 differences, and then we go ahead. Mitosis can also be called as equational cell division. Meiosis can be called as reductional cell division. Mitosis that occurs in a somatic cell. Meiosis that takes place in a reproductive cell. Mitosis that occurs in haploid as well as diploid cells. But the meiosis always occurs in a diploid cell. It is not possible in haploid cell. In a mitosis, the number of chromosome in the parent and the daughter cell remains the same. In meiosis, the number of chromosome in daughter cell becomes a half than the compared to a parent cell. In a mitosis, one parent cell generates a 2 daughter cell. In meiosis, one parent cell generates a 4 daughter cell. So this is the difference which exists between the mitosis and meiosis. Still there are lots of other differences that are present. So let's discuss what are the other differences in a mitosis and the meiosis. Okay, so let's discuss the another difference. Here you can say a pairing of chromosome. Pairing of chromosome does not occur. The pairing does not occur in a mitosis, but here in meiosis, pairing occurs. Yes, so pairing occurs. In which phase? The pairing occurs in zygote phase. Okay, zygote phase of prophase 1 of meiosis 1. Okay, so this is a difference which is between mitosis and the meiosis. Next, here the crossing over does not occur. Crossing over between a sister chromatid does not occur, but in meiosis the crossing over takes place. It occurs in which phase? The crossing overs that occurs in a Pectine phase. Okay, so the crossing over that occurs in the Pectine phase. Next, the another difference. Here, the exchange of genes. Here there is no crossing over. So the exchange of genes do not take place. Here the exchange of genes occurs, and that is also occurs in the same phase. That is what we are calling it as Pectine phase. Okay, so this is a difference. A pairing of chromosome does not occur in mitosis, but pairing occurs in a zygote. Crossing over does not occur. Here the crossing over takes place. Exchange of genes do not occur. Here the exchange of genes takes place. Okay. Here the centromere split in anaphase, but here the centromere does not split in anaphase 1. Does not split in anaphase 1. It can split in anaphase 2, but does not split in the anaphase 1. Okay, clear? So this is a difference. I will write the other differences over here on the top side. So see what is the other difference. The mitosis process comparatively of short duration. Compared to a meiosis, it is of a short duration. But here the meiosis, it is comparatively, means compared to a mitosis, longer duration. Clear? This is a one difference which exists between the mitosis and the meiosis. The next difference which exists between them, here the division, cell division occurs once, but here the cell division occurs twice. 2 times the cell division takes place. In both the condition, the replication occurs 1. In mitosis and the meiosis, the replication means DNA synthesis occurs once. But in mitosis, the division also occurs 1. Means replication and division occurs 1 time. But here in meiosis, replication occurs 1 time, division occurs 2 times. So that's why the half number of chromosomes are going to be produced. So this is a difference which exists between the mitosis and the meiosis. Okay, so that's all about the difference of mitosis and the meiosis. Learn it thoroughly, it is very important. Okay, clear? So students, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.